Hello and welcome back to The Talk with Akinwumi, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of teenagers and young people, exploring the challenges, triumphs, and experiences that shape their lives. If you're a teenager, young adult, or simply curious about the issues impacting today's youth, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your friends and family. Let's start the conversation. So I'd like to start off this episode by thanking each and every one of us for the engagement at Bridging the Gap, Parents vs. Gen Z Teenagers. I mean, the 2 episodes, the engagement they got was actually quite massive and it was encouraging, and I liked it. So I want to thank each and every one of us that listened, dropped an opinion, also shared with other people so they can learn. Secondly, what I wanted to say was that, to be quite honest, I've been at a roadblock for quite some time. A creative block, I'd say, because I didn't really know. After bridging the gap, I feel like I peaked and I didn't know what to talk about after then. But then I did some consultation, some thinking, and turns out that a couple of my episodes earlier this year or late last year, I said I was going to touch on mental health, depression, and all of that. And I haven't done that. I haven't done a lot of that. So turns out that June is the month for men's mental health awareness. And it's a topic that is not really talked about, in the society. People will be like, you're a man, you're not supposed to be down, you're supposed to be up, cheerful, and all of that, and a lot of other stereotypes that should not be crossing anybody's mind, because a man, a woman, we're both human beings. What a woman goes through, like mentally, a man can also go through it. There's no specific gender that says that, okay, you're not supposed to go through this, you're not supposed to cry, and all of that nonsense. But it's just the kind of society we find ourselves in, and the way the world thinks. It's quite controversial, but that's not what I'm going to today. So I have a couple of statistics that I pulled from the internet. So the first one is the World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that over 300 million people worldwide suffer from depression, with the prevalence of depression in men estimated to be around 2 to 3%. Also, globally, men are more likely to die by suicide than women. The WHO reports that the male to female ratio of suicide rates is approximately 2 to 1. That means men are twice as likely to die by suicide as women. And studies have also shown that men are less likely to seek help for mental health issues than women across various cultures and regions. This is often attributed to factors such as stigma, social norms, and perceived gender roles. I'm going to dwell on this study quite a bit. So the last 2 things I'm going to talk about is loneliness and social isolation are increasingly recognized as public health issues, with men being at higher risk for negative mental health outcomes due to reduced social connections. Substance abuse. Men are more likely than women to experience substance abuse disorders, with the WHO reporting that men account for around 70% of all deaths relating to drug and alcohol use worldwide. Now, while women go through a lot of emotional breakdowns, and that is quite glaring and obvious, guys also go through it, but you really wouldn't notice unless you ask, to be honest. There was a time around last year, January, February, I was in a really bad state, and I'm coming out because it's a quite personal issue, but I'm coming out here to like tell each and every one of my guys out there that it's okay to be vulnerable at times. Like, you're not Man of Steel, or even Man of Steel gets vulnerable at times, but you get what I'm saying. You're not indestructible, you're not emotionless and all of that. You are human, and as much as you're human, you're prone to emotions and breakdowns and mental health issues, it's quite fine. So my story that I was going to continue is that I was in a really bad state last year, January, February, and it got so bad that I think we were in an assembly or so. Not really an assembly. We were trying to submit a form in school then, and I just looked for my best friend then, and I just went to meet him, hugged him, and I started bawling my eyes out. Like, I cried a lot. I didn't even mind the people that were around me, and it was crazy. People came eventually, like hours later, like, bro, what's up? What happened? All of that. But I couldn't speak because I just couldn't speak. And I want to thank my friend because he didn't even ask questions or anything. He just stood there and just like comforted me and all of that. And it was quite what I needed, to be honest, at that point in time. So the word of encouragement I have for all my guys out there is that you're human. Don't let anyone trick you into believing that, okay, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to go through mental breakdowns, you're not supposed to experience things, you're supposed to be tough and all that. Yes, you're supposed to be tough. That one is okay. It's okay, but then it's okay not to be tough at times, because you're not indestructible. You can be weak and vulnerable at times. It's perfectly fine. There are a lot of guys going through a lot of things that they cannot see. There's the addiction problems, the drugs. A lot of guys. Many of my friends, they're firstborns. I mean, guys, and there's a huge responsibility on their shoulder. Like, okay, you're the flag bearer of our family. Do not let us down. Even if their parents do not say it, it's quite obvious that everyone expects a very high standard from them. And when you do not live up to that standard, sometimes it's the backlash you get is quite crazy. Like, okay, if I've been living a consistent life like this, and just one time I slip up, why is the backlash this much? Do you get what I mean? Like, it's just crazy how. And I'm not just talking to the guys, to be honest. I'm talking to each and every one of us, male, female. If you know a guy out there, just like, and he's bottling up a lot of things and all of that, do not ask questions. Most times, do not ask questions. Just be there for the person. Just comfort the person. Sometimes, most times, what a person is just a word of encouragement, and it's enough to keep them going for a very long time. If you keep bashing guys, it gets bad to the extent that you have abusive fathers, abusive husbands, and a lot of things. See, suicide rates, drug abuse. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I've seen a lot of people who use drugs and smoke and all of that. Most of the people I've seen, they are guys, and you see that psychologically they're not balanced. Something is wrong somewhere, but they seek solace in the drugs, they seek solace in the smoke and whatnot. Sometimes all they need is just a word of encouragement. And my own word of encouragement to my guys out there, like I said earlier, just be strong. And if it's okay not to be strong sometimes, it's very much okay. You're not indestructible. Just find someone you can talk to. Someone you can confide in. I feel like that will go a very long way in helping you combat mental health issues. So you don't have crazy breakdowns, and or you don't have situations where you have to lash out to people and they think, okay, this person is a bad person or this person has changed and all of that. Do you get what I mean? So this is just a short episode. I just wanted to put this out there for everyone to listen. So thank you for listening to this episode. See you next time.